I know this is going to shock all of you, but please bear with me. New poll shows liberal whammons are the most unhappy and lonely. Boy, you mean men don't want nagging feminazi harpies? That most likely don't take good care of themselves either? Oh man, I am shocked. Shocked, I tell you. Well, okay, not that shocked. Liberal whammons between the ages of 18 and 40 are nearly three times as likely as conservative peers to report frequent feelings of loneliness. Get another cat. I mean, clearly the other 20 aren't doing it for you. God, TFM has been talking about this for years. He just keeps getting vindicated because he already crunched the numbers, and he's been telling people for ages that there's an inverse correlation between women's happiness and women's empowerment. Like, generally, the more strong and independent and empowered they are, the more unhappy they are. Yeah. Meanwhile, their quote unquote house slave conservative peers, they seem to be having a good time. Liberal whammons are the least likely to report feeling fully satisfied with their lives. Well, that's because they got two marks against them. They're far leftist and they're women. Those are two groups that can never be satisfied. So you're asking the wrong people. And are far more likely to report feeling lonely often, according to a recently published poll. Now, how much you want to bet that they posted that they were lonely, like while on a date? Oh man, I wish I could bring the bull with us, but then he'll find out. The current year-1 American Family Survey found that 37% of conservative whammons and 20% of moderate whammons between the ages of 18 and 40 reported being completely satisfied with their lives. Just 12% of liberal whammons in the same age group said the same. Yeah, those must be the lottery winners. Liberal whammons are also nearly 3 times more likely than conservative whammons to say they experience loneliness at least a few times a week. Yeah, for me, it's the opposite. When I'm forced to hang out with other people multiple times, I experience the opposite of loneliness. I experience, get the fuck out of here and leave me alone. Brad Wilcox, a sociology professor at the University of Virginia and a fellow at the Institute for Family Studies, says he believes there are a couple of reasons why conservative young whammons are more likely to be happier than their liberal counterparts. Because they understand their role in life. Meanwhile, the feminazis are fighting it. So we've seen the research that conservative whammons tend to be more likely to embrace a sense of agency and a sense that they are not in any way the victim of larger structural realities or forces. So, but you're basically saying they're right. All right? So they're also less likely to catastrophize about public events and concerns. Yeah, that's what we brought up earlier when talking about how quickly everyone's aging. That's true. It showed up here again. Yeah, sadly, a lot of the youth are pretty regarded, and they fell for the environmentalist fear-mongering and legitimately believe the world is going to end in like 20 minutes. Yeah, there's something wrong with them. Now, the poll also broke down the relationship status of the whammons surveyed. According to the data, 40% of liberal whammons reported being single, while 31% said they were married. For conservative whammons, 33% reported being single, 51% married. The remaining whammons on both sides of the political aisle reported being in a committed relationship or cohabiting with a partner. Yeah, marriage is pretty much out of the question for guys. Like, they really should consider how many of them would want to get married, but men don't want to. Wilcox said that marriage and family are an enormous source of meaning and purpose for most people, and it's not surprising that conservative whammons who are most likely to be married would feel more satisfied with their lives in general. Well, meanwhile, almost none of the pundits that represent them on social media could say the same thing. Conservative whammons who are also more likely to embrace the gender differences between men and women and prioritize family and attending religious services, he said, and which contributes to happiness. Yeah. Accepting reality contributes to happiness. Fighting reality contributes to massive amounts of stress. Who could have figured this out? I guess the people that accept reality for what it is and make the moves to deal with it are somehow happier than the people that throw a tantrum and get shocked when no one pays attention to them. And then the store owner gets mad as fuck because you chased away all their customers. You got to be very careful where you throw your tantrums. The American Family Survey is an annual nationwide survey of 3,000 Americans in the current year minus one poll released, was released in early February of current year and conducted August 22nd to 29th in current year minus one. By YouGov Desert News and the Center for Study on Erections and Democracy in Brigham Young University. Even if they try to manipulate this in some way, it doesn't look good for any of them regardless. How life begins at 40, metabolism gives out, men switch to younger girls. Yeah. Man, that is just such massive cope from a lot of these whammons. Girl 50 is the new 20. I don't know, man. That's not what your biological clock says. Because I checked the carton and there's no eggs in there. Well, and that's another thing that a lot of these whammons fall for. Like, they think they're dudes. But that's fine. Yeah, you keep telling yourselves that your life starts at 40. Don't get mad at us when the only guys you can get at that point are the younger guys looking for a starter girlfriend, and they all leave right away. That's what you wanted, though, isn't it?